Today we're talking about the new McLaren Elva, and I think it's pretty...
Let it go, let it go.
No, that's Elsa. This is Elva. This is the new car from McLaren, and...
Good news, I saw a dog today.
That's from Elf, and doesn't even sound the same.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
Hello all, I'm Josh, this is Josh Builds Stuff, and today we're talking about McLaren again. Today, the McLaren Elva. This is a little polybag set that is from the Speed Champions line. It just came out in January 2021. It only costs $5 and it only has 86 pieces. I've said it before, I like these little Lego cars at this scale. They're basically like the Hot Wheels equivalent of cars, and for only $5, I don't think you need a full review or for someone to tell you whether or not you should go out and buy these, especially not from a YouTube professional like myself. So if you want to go spend $5, I would encourage you to do so. The build for this set took like 15 minutes. It's 80-something pieces. It's obviously very simple. If you would like for that build to take much longer, you could bring your 3.5-year-old along to build it with you, and then his little bit of slight indignance and his I can do it all by myself attitude, paired with his tiny fingers and the inability to really connect the tiny pieces to each other, that'll extend your build time by quite a bit, but you'll be forming some fun father-son bonding memories in the long run, right? So that's worth it. In all honesty, I think the subject that was chosen for this little build was an interesting one. Have you ever heard of the McLaren Elva? I kind of loosely follow supercars, and that just means that I used to watch Top Gear, at least when it was with like Jeremy Clarkson and the other two guys, but I loosely follow some supercar stuff, and I had never heard of a McLaren Elva. I had to look it up. It is a very weird, very funky looking car. It's a cool looking car, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely funky looking. And I say all this to say that that was an interesting subject for LEGO to choose to build a car, especially at this scale. I had just gotten done saying with the other McLaren set that it's difficult to capture some of the interesting lines and curves and details of these cool looking sports cars at a smaller scale. And then we took it to an even smaller scale of only 80-something pieces, and so I think LEGO chose a less recognizable car to build at a small scale like this. Obviously kids aren't going to care. They're going to be like, oh, it's a cool looking little blue sports cars, especially if they buy a lot of Hot Wheels cars. There's like, this car has a rocket on it, this car is shaped like a fish. Hot Wheels cars are crazy right now. But LEGO cars tend to be a tad more realistic, and usually LEGO has chosen some more recognizable models for cars at this scale, like the Lamborghini that came out a little while ago. They also just released that mega muscle car, which I guess with a name like that is about as generic as a car can be, right bro? But I have said all of that just to say this. Even with it being a kind of more obscure car that LEGO chose to make, I still think it looks pretty cool. I mean, what am I going to complain about a set? Again, it was $5. It was 80-something pieces. Speaking of the car itself, I said it's weird looking, and I think that it is, as is the LEGO set, I guess, by correlation, but it's like supposed to mimic the open-top race cars from like the mid-60s, which had no windshields, and this car doesn't have a windshield. I don't know about you, but I'm not paying $1.something million for a super sports car that has no windshield. I get that you're like a fancy pants boy, but like, I mean, come on, give me a windscreen. So overall, I will say it again, I'm not going to tell you whether or not you should spend $5 on a LEGO set. It's only $5. If you like cars, if you like LEGO sets, you might as well pick this up. Personally, I'll probably pick up another set and just keep it in the bag for a later date for whatever reason. Probably just because it's only $5. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. And if you had any doubt that I could talk for multiple minutes about a tiny little set, boy, you should have seen the minutes and minutes and tens of 20s of minutes that I had to cut out just to get the video down to this concise point. I don't know if we can call it that at this point. While I'm saying this, I haven't actually edited any of this. But so as not to prove my point any further, I'll say again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.